morning, students. So, in state of matter, right now, I am going to discuss the difference between ideal gas and real gas. And in the previous class, I have well explained the term ideal gas and real gas, and under what condition a real gases behaves like ideal gases. And almost all gases are real in nature. No gases are there, particularly showing ideal behavior. So now, we will define, differentiate between ideal gas and real gas. Okay. That is difference between ideal gas and real gas. So, ideal gas and real gas. Ideal gas, the condition of ideal gas I have told you, it strictly prohibits the intermolecular force of attraction. Okay, so I can write over here there is no intermolecular force of attraction. That means intermolecular force is very negligible. And here you can't ignore the intermolecular force of attraction. That means molecules are associated with intermolecular force, which cannot be neglected. Is that clear? Next point we write again, the volume occupied by a single gas molecule is negligible as compared to the total volume of the gas, which depends upon the shape of the container. Okay, so I can write over here the volume occupied by a single gas molecule is negligible as compared to the total volume of the gas. That means molecular volume is negligible. Okay, but you can't ignore the volume occupied by the gas. That means if suppose I am considering certain amount of gas is taken in a vessel, okay, in a container. So I can say the volume of the gas that is equal to the volume of the container, which you can't neglect. Okay, but about the volume of each and individual gas molecule, you can ignore it, you can neglect it as per the ideal gas condition. Okay. Next, in case of the real gas, the molecule has itself some volume, which you can't ignore. Okay, so molecules of real gas having certain volume, which cannot be neglected. Then I have told you the conditions at which your real gas showing ideal behavior. So ideal behavior condition condition of ideal behavior is at low pressure and high temperature. You see, at low pressure molecules are away from each other, so that there will be no intermolecular force of attraction. And at high temperature, if you increase the temperature, the molecules try to move freely with respect to all directions, so that there should not be any type of interaction among the gas molecules. So this is the ideal gas condition. And definitely the real gas condition will be something different, that is at high pressure and low temperature. Real gas condition or real behavior condition is at high pressure, and low temperature. At high pressure and low temperature. Clear? Next, ideal gas equation I have told you. It obeys the ideal gas equation. The ideal gas equation, that is PV, that is equal to nRT. But in case of real gas, yes, there is a real gas equation also. It is not in our syllabus. Okay, that is called Van der Waals equation. Okay, it obeys Van der Waals equation, or this is also called real gas equation. Real gas equation also it is called. Okay, so that equation is P plus A n square on V square or into V minus NV, that is equal to nRT. This is called the real gas equation or Van der Waals equation. So real gas satisfies this equation. Okay, so although it is not in our syllabus, its derivation, but I need to provide a little bit of information about this Van der Waals equation. Okay, so students, let us derive the real gas equation. How it will be? It is not in your syllabus. Let's see. For real gas, for ideal gas, there is no intermolecular force. There is no intermolecular force of attraction, and the volume of gas molecule is negligible. These are the conditions of ideal gas. So the equation was PV, that is equal to nRT. Is that clear? But you see, if this is the ideal gas equation, how we need to correct it? See, because all gases are real gases. Real gas condition, real gas, there is no intermolecular force. Yes, molecules have some intermolecular force. Molecules have some intermolecular force. That here. Next, that is volume. Molecules are considered to be rigid spheres. Rigid spheres. That means you can't ignore the molecular volume. That means they have volume. Molecules have. These are the conditions you just remember. So there should be just this fundamental concept we just made it. Suppose I am considering this one is a container. Okay, this one is a container. Suppose this one is a gas molecule, and I have told you referring to kinetic theory of gas. pressure exerted by the gas molecule is due to its bombardment on the walls of the container. Okay, suppose it comes like this and strike this one with a force F. That clear? Suppose this is some striking area is there where this molecule strikes to the wall, and this force per unit area, that is called pressure. Okay, so pressure, that is the force per unit area. That clear? Now, according to ideal condition, the pressure exerted by this molecule is due to its bombardment on the walls of the container. But right now, in case of a real gas, since there is intermolecular force of attraction among the gas molecules, so the molecule which is going to strike this one, you see, it is also associated with the surrounding molecules present in this container. So this molecule also trying to attract each other. This molecule trying to attract each other. So the ideal pressure becomes less than that of ideal pressure. Definitely becomes more than that of the real pressure, because the usual pressure is more than that of observed pressure. Because you see, due to the force of attraction of these molecules which are present behind this molecule, the observed pressure becomes less than that of ideal pressure. That means the pressure in the ideal gas equation need to rectify. Okay, so there must be some additional pressure associated to the observed pressure so that it will be equal to the ideal pressure. Okay, तो ये molecule ये wall पे पड़ेगा तो जितने force पड़ेगा था right now, इसे due to intermolecular force of attraction, these molecules try to attract that particular molecule which is going to strike the wall, so that the observed pressure becomes less than that of whatever that pressure, that is ideal pressure. So pressure, I can write over here, pressure should be P plus del P. P plus del P. This del P is pressure correction factor. This del P is called pressure correction factor. Okay, so you tell me the value of del P depends upon the number of molecules in the container. First of all, so del P is directly proportional to number of molecules per unit volume. So clearly, more the number of molecules in the container, more will be the attraction, more will be this factor. Okay, so del P is directly proportional to n by v. Again, see, more the number of molecules, more will be the this del P factor, because more will be the striking molecules also. More the number of molecules per unit volume, this del P will be definitely more, which again depends upon the number of moles, number of molecules per unit volume. As with increasing number of molecules, the number of striking molecule also increases. So more the striking, more will be the value of del P. Okay. Okay, so what can I do over here? This del P is again also proportional to n by v. Clear? So that implies this del P is equal to a some constant a n square by this. This a is called pressure correction constant. A, that is called pressure correction constant. Okay. And now the ideal gas equation can be rectified as, that will be pressure P ideal, then right, that will become P plus del P. Instead of del P I can write a n square by s. Okay, next what will be the volume, because volume correction should be there. As real gases has some volume, just say suppose this one is 1 meter. According to ideal gas condition, the volume of a single gas molecule is negligible. Okay, according to ideal gas, the volume of occupied by a single gas molecule is negligible. According to the ideal condition, the volume occupied by a single gas molecule is negligible. So volume of the gas means it is nothing but the volume occupied by this container. Okay. So now what I need to explain over here. Again, according to real gas condition, since the volume of each gas molecule is compared with a rigid sphere, that means it has some volume. Okay. So what would you expect? What will be the real volume of the gas over here? If gas molecules are assumed as rigid spheres, that means they have some volume. So what can you do over here in case of volume? So volume, there must be some reduction factor over here. That is, this is V ideal. Let's say I am writing V ideal. That will be V, that is volume of the container, minus, if the volume of the gas is considered as the volume of the container, then what about these molecules? Since these molecules have some volume, so V ideal is nothing but whatever the volume of the gas that is volume of the container, minus the volume, that will be minus the excluded volume should be there. Excluded volume means except these molecules. If these molecules are assumed as rigid spheres and they have some volume, then what will be the volume of the gas according to the condition of ideal gas condition? So according to ideal gas condition, the volume of this container, that will be V ideal. It's okay, that will be equal to V. When it will be when these spheres have no volumes. If we assume these gas molecules are rigid spheres and they have certain volume, then what we have to do? We have to deduct the rest of the volume except these spheres. So that volume is called exploded volume. So that exploded volume will be NB. NB means N, that is number of molecules, and B, that is exploded volume. And B is a constant. B is called volume correction factor. Volume correction factor. Now you can place instead of volume, that will be V minus NB. V minus NB. That is equal to nRT. So this one is your Van der Waals equation, where A and B are the pressure and volume correction constants. Okay, you can write down also the unit of A, because A, that is pressure correction constant, that is P, you can write A n square upon V square. So what will be the unit of A? A, that is equal to P into V square by n square. So that will be atm liter square moles. Okay, so that will be, it is the Van der Waals equation for n mole of gas. For n mole of gas. For n mole of gas. N mole of gas. So for 1 mole of gas, this equation can be written as P plus A by V square into V minus B, that is equal to nRT. This is the Van der Waals equation for 1 mole of gas. Sorry, here n is equal to 1 for 1 mole of gas. This is called the real gas equation. It is not in your syllabus, but for the sake of understanding, I have explained. That is your Van der Waals equation. Right? Now, it's very important topic. Little bit of idea, that is regarding your liquefaction of gases. Okay, critical phenomenon, and liquefaction of gases. Liquefaction of so whenever gases can be liquefied, the molecules would be bring nearer to each other. That means at a high pressure and low temperature. Temperature should be low. So gas can be liquefied. Gas can be liquefied at high pressure and low temperature. At high pressure and low temperature. And low temperature is the condition at which gases can be liquefied into liquid. So for this, pressure should be high and temperature should be low. These are the condition at which gases can be liquefied. So if I need to plot a graph between pressure and volume, see, at a particular temperature, this one, so that is pressure, and this one is volume. And you see, at constant temperature for a given amount of gas, so at constant temperature, the graph between pressure and volume, you know, according to Boyle's law, that will discuss. But right now you see, I am considering the liquefaction of gas. Okay, suppose I start over here, and you see here the volume is maximum. Alright, so here the volume is maximum, you can say volume of gas is maximum. So for liquefaction, what I have to do? I have to increase pressure. I have to increase pressure. So if I increase the pressure, then what I am getting over here? I am getting a line like this. Okay. So here I am increasing pressure and getting a curve over here at a particular point. So right now, till now, only gas is present over here. Only gas. Okay. So at this point I am saying, at this point what happens? The gas molecules starting converted into liquid. That means the liquefaction starts from this point. Don't think that all the gases are converted into liquid. Not like that. From this point, gases trying to convert into liquids. तो liquid बनना शुरू हो गया है, ठीक है? So here I am getting a constant line like this. Like this here up to this point, you see, up to this point there exist two phases, that is gas as well as liquid. Up to here there exist two phases, that is gas as well as liquid. You see here you are continuously increasing pressure. You are increasing pressure, but still you are getting a constant line from this point to this point where two opposite phases are used. So by increasing the pressure, what happens? That increase in pressure is utilized for change in phase, for phase change. That means from gas to liquid. That's why here I am getting a constant line. So conversion of gas into liquid is there, and at this point I am getting a straight line parallel to pressure axis. That means from this point all the gases are converted into liquid. All the gases are converted into liquid. And here in case of liquid, you know, with increasing pressure there is no change in volume in case of liquid. So liquid के ऊपर अगर प्रेशर डालोगे तो क्या होगा? उसका वॉल्यूम के ऊपर कुछ इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा. So that means the volume of a liquid remains as such by increasing the pressure. So here liquid. So if I draw a curve over here like this, I just need to cover this area like this. Okay. So now you see, for another temperature, that means if you increase the temperature of the system, then increase in temperature, the liquefaction becomes difficult, because for liquefaction we need decrease in temperature. Okay. So if this one I am getting for T1, let's say. For T2 I am getting like this. For T2, I need to cover this area like this. For T2, you see this one. and here this equilibrium becomes less, gas plus liquid, and here there will be constant time, because with increase in temperature, if T2 is greater than T1, then the conversion of a gas into liquid becomes difficult. That's why this region little bit of later. And further, if I consider another for T3, if I need to draw, that will be like this, and you see a point will be there here at the peak portion. It will be suddenly converted into, this will be T4. At this point there is no equilibrium, but at this point all the gases are converted into liquids, and this temperature T4, that is called critical temperature. T4 is called TC, critical temperature. The critical temperature means the temperature above which gas cannot be liquefied, because with increasing temperature liquefaction becomes difficult. So after this point, further if I consider T5, then it is impossible to convert gases into liquid above this temperature. This temperature is called critical temperature, because for liquefaction we need decrease in temperature. So if I increase the temperature like this, then what happens? There is a certain temperature at which liquefaction becomes possible, but beyond that temperature, above that temperature, the liquefaction becomes difficult. Okay, so that is called critical temperature, and at critical temperature, at TC, the respective volume is called VC, critical volume, and the respective pressure is called PC. So these are called PC, VC, TC, critical pressure, critical volume, and critical temperature. Clear? Now let us find out the value of PC, VC, and TC. Okay, so how? Only their preliminary idea is there in your syllabus. First of all, 1 mole of gas V plus A by B square into V minus B is equal to R. Okay, so just simplify it. That will be E V square plus A into V minus B, that is equal to RT V square. Okay, so that implies PVQ minus PV V square plus AB minus AB, that is equal to RT. That implies PVQ minus PV square minus RT square plus AB minus AB, that is equal to 0. Now dividing P on both sides, so I am getting VQ minus V square minus RT by P into V square plus A by P into V minus AB by P, that is equal to 0. Clear? That implies VQ minus V plus RT by P equal into V square plus A by P into V minus B, that is equal to 0. See, this is the equation. VQ minus V plus RT by P into V square plus A by P to V minus B, that is equal to 0. Okay. Since we are considering critical temperature, pressure and volume, okay, so beta at V is equal to Vc, if I can write, then temperature becomes Tc pressure becomes PC. Is that clear? At critical temperature. So V is equal to Vc. Can I write V minus Vc that is equal to 0? So that implies V minus Vc whole cube that is equal to 0. So right now this V minus Vc becomes Vq minus 3Vc into V square. Okay, plus 3Vc square minus Vc whole cube that is equal to 0. A minus B whole cube. Okay, might have gone through trigonometric level. So you see, if I compare the coefficients, this equation is equation 2 and this one is your equation 1. Now comparing equation 1 and 2, what we will get over here? Comparing equation 1 and 2 by comparing equation 1 and equation 2. So what we will get? This becomes equal to this, that is 3Vc. I can write V plus RT because at Vc this becomes RTC divided by Pc. That way this one, and if I compare, just see here, that is 3VVc square. Okay, 3VVc square. Next I will get, that is, let you see, there is a, so here it should not be confused that again I am repeating this, that will be better. Plus A by E into D minus A by E by D. Okay, so we now compare the coefficients. Here you see V. Alright, that will be 3Vc square. So 3Vc square that is equal to A by P. A by Pc. Okay, so now this constant minus Vc cube, so Vc whole cube, that will be equal to AB upon Pc. So these are the different equations we have got for Vc, Pc and Pc. Okay, right now by considering, let me mention this is equation RI, IV and V. Now if I divide these two equations, I will get the value of Vc. That will be, so this one is Vc cube divided by 3Vc square, that is AB by Pc into Pc upon A. Clear? So Vc square, Vc cube 1 will be there. So Vc that is equal to 3 Pc get cancelled. So Vc that is equal to 3AB upon A. Again A get cancelled. That will be 3B. So critical volume that is equal to 3B. Vc that is equal to 3B, and I can calculate the Pc from this equation. Okay, from equation IV I can get, from equation IV what I can get, Pc that is equal to A upon 3Vc square. That clear? So that is equal to A divided by 3 into Vc का value 3B square, that is A divided by 27B square. This is the value of Pc. Okay, and the final one, that is DC can be calculated from here. Just substitute the value of Vc and Pc from third I. From equation third I, you can place the value of Vc 3 into, what is the value of Vc? 3B, that is equal to B plus R. I have to find out the value of Pc divided by Pc value A upon 27B square. Okay, so the value of Pc by solving, you can get the value of Tc, that is 8 A upon 27 Rb. This will be the value of Tc. This one is critical temperature and this one is critical volume, and this one is your critical pressure. That is here. This is Pc. This is critical pressure. Okay. So with this, I finish your whatever theoretical part in your syllabus. This includes, and next class we will discuss few questions on this state of matter. Okay.